Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today on this rather blustery day. It's very windy. I don't know if you'll hear the wind as I'm doing my video, hopefully not. But anyway, I'm bringing you this cute little slim box, and I've not really done any stamping or anything on this one because I just wanted to really try and make the box just because I thought it was really cute. And inside it's got a pen. Now I picked up these pens, I got a whole bunch of them off eBay. I don't know, maybe less than £2, something like that, I can't really remember. But I thought these would go really well with the Myths and Magic DSP, hence me using the glitter and this. Now sadly when I started doing this I just was having a bit of an issue decorating them, so I went with simple, and I actually ended up using the whole lot of Lovely for this and Night of Navy. I was trying to play with the Dapper Denim, but I did find, and I don't know if anybody else has found this, that using the Myths and Magic DSP my paper kept cracking, so trying to fold it and cut it was becoming a nightmare, so in the end I just stuck with this. However, I am using it on the next one because I want to use this lovely red pen, which I think goes really well with Fresh Fig. So that's the one I'm going to be using. The blue one is going back in this box. As you can see, varying colours. I mean, this is a great sort of Bermuda Bay. Then you've got Crushed Curry, maybe, I don't know, Tangerine Tango, Cajun Craze. There's some great colours in there, and likewise with these two, you know, you don't have to stick with you know, the basic colours. You could mix them up, but yeah, I mean, as I say, they're just great little pens, and I think they're great for little party bags or, you know, for gifting someone. And obviously I've made the box with these little rests so that it's a decent sized box, but you could also adapt it to fit you know, any other sort of pen if you wanted to, if you wanted to buy somebody a really nice pen. I have an auntie who loves to do puzzles, you know, and buying puzzle books is a little bit rubbish. But obviously if you were to buy a nice pen to go with it, you could package it up nicely in a lovely box. It just makes it look a little bit special. So let's get making this box. So as I said, Night of Navy on this one, Fresh Fig on this one. So for the base of the box where your pen's going to sit, you need a piece of cardstock that is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 of an inch, and in centimetres that is 11 1/2 by 20 centimetres. So just going to bring in my scoring board, and you need to score on the long side half an inch and 1 inch, and then rotate and do the same again. Half an inch and 1 inch, and that's 1 and 2 centimetres. And then on the short side we score at half an inch, 1, 1 1/2, 2, rotate and the same again. So half, 1, 1 1/2, 2. And in centimetres it's simply 1, 2, 3 and 4 centimetres. Simple as that. So I'll pop that away for a minute, grab my bone folder, and then obviously we're just going to fold and burnish all these score lines. And don't forget, we haven't got long left now in Celebration, only the rest of this month, and then all those lovely stamps and other products will be gone. So don't delay. get ordering so you don't miss them. I've also been out with my dogs this morning in this horrific wind. It was ridiculous. It almost took me off my feet, and at some points it almost took my breath away. It was that strong. Okay, so you should now have this kind of look. So you've got all those bits scored and burnished. Excuse me. And so for each corner we're going to do exactly the same thing. So you've got a grid here of 8 squares. So we take away the first 3, or should I say the first 6. So we just get rid of those. Cut down this one and then across, and bring in those little wedges. Oops, where is it? There it is. Right, and then we do exactly the same again. So get rid of those 6. And then cut down this one. Take the top off and put in your wedges. And then we'll do exactly the same this end. So yes, I'm hoping that none of you have all been snowed in too much or suffering from the elements. It's always so pretty, the snow, but it just causes the UK to grind to a halt. I don't understand it. We never seem to plan any year. We just go on the same. Never mind. So, just trim those. Right, so get rid of that. So this is what you're left with now. So you've got your 2 tabs here, and then these 2 double parts here. So flip it over. Then you need to grab your ruler and pen or pencil, and on the top edge square or rectangle here, you need to mark 1/2 inch in or 1 centimetre in, depending on which you're using, and do that on both sides. So 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre in from the edge. You then need to cut where you've marked straight down, and then put your wedges, and then just tuck the one closest to you in and cut that centre piece away. So you're left with that funny looking shape. So I'll do that again. So where you've marked, you cut down, and then either side you cut your wedges. Same again on the other side. Put your wedges, and then I simply fold the closest one to me down and just cut the middle part out. And so that is the shape that you should now have. So once you've done that, I'll grab my tear and tape, but it's absolutely buried underneath everything. So grab your tear and tape, and it's just the same as you would do for a box frame or a shadow frame. And you just simply place the tape along the edge there, and then do exactly the same with this side. So on the very last edge, just run some tear and tape. And once you've done that, you can then peel them off, wherever my pokey tool's gone, my piercing tool. Just take that backing off, and then you fold it under as you would with your shadow box. Make sure that it's butted up, and then you can just give it a bend the other way and fold it down. And then we do exactly the same this side. So as I say, it's just like you would do with a shadow box with when you do the first 2 sides. Come on, thank you. And we do exactly the same here. So I'm just tucking those edges in so that they butt up to the other fold, and then you can just fold it in on itself just to put some pressure on. So that's where you get your sides from. And then to make up the top, now this is a bit tricky and a bit fiddly, you need your glue dots. And the reason I use glue dots is because they're a little bit thicker and they're a little bit more adhesive. You know, I find that they adhere a little better. So 1, 2, 3, 4 glue dots, and I'm literally going to put them on my tabs. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you simply fold these in. Make sure your box is square. Fold those in, and then you sort of fold this up and tuck these in. And then as you do it, your glue dots will adhere. If they don't, get your piercing tool, or if you've got a needle or something that's a bit thinner, you can just squeeze in the side there and sort of do that manoeuvre and press up with your tool, and it just makes that glue dot adhere. So that's that side done. So then I need to do exactly the same on the other end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just, as I say, do exactly the same. Pop these on the 4 corners, the 4 tabs rather. And this is why, as I say, you need glue dots, because I don't think that fuse or tear and tape would do the job, because they're not quite thick enough. So pop that down. If you wanted to, you could press those onto there just to make sure that they're going to sit, and then just simply push those in. And like I said, you just get your piercing tool and give it all a good squeeze and a push, and it should stay. So there's my pen box, but just to decorate it up a little bit nicely, I've got a strip of the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. Now this is actually out of the Myths and Magic glimmer paper set, so this is only a 6-inch length, whereas my box is 6 1/4, I believe. So I wasn't that bothered, because I thought it's inside the box, it's dark, no one can see it, so it will be fine. And my gap here is 3/4 of an inch, and I've just simply taken 1/16 of an inch off this, just so that it's not quite as deep as that. And as I say, it's not quite the full length, so I've just made sure that it's got an equal gap both ends. And there, a nice little glittery insert for my spacey pen. And so now we need to make the lid. So again, Fresh Fig cardstock, which I've got here, and my scoring tool, and I'm also going to use a piece that I have cut here to use as my wedge. And I simply, sorry, this measures, and this is the awkward bit I'm afraid, because of the pen and the dimensions. This lid measures 7 5/16 by 2 13/15. Frustrating, I know. In centimetres it's 18.2 by 5.6, and you're simply going to score at 1/2 inch on all sides, which is 1 centimetre for the measurements. So just literally go all the way around, all the way around, watching your fingers, and do 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre. On all 4 sides. It's always fiddly, especially when you've got a small piece of shim here in my hand to hold it. And then this is just made up, an itch on my elbow, sorry. This is just made up exactly the same way as any box lid. So we'll literally fold and burnish all the corners. I mean, obviously the principle is the same, so if you wanted to make a box that was bigger and didn't have these ridiculous measurements, then obviously you could do. So, those are my tear and tape scissors, no wonder they felt sticky. So I've literally just folded and burnished, and then on these corners I'm just obviously cutting my wedges. And the same this side. And then before I adhere this, I'm going to just add some DSP to the top. And again, I'm afraid it is a ridiculous measurement for the DSP. Move all that out of the way. Grab my snail. So I am using the Myths and Magic one here because it's nice and shiny, and it has got what I was planning on using. And my DSP for my lid measures 1 11/16 by 6 2/16, which in centimetres is 3 by 15.5. So much easier in centimetres. Right, back with the glue dots. Because these tabs are quite small, I found it better to do glue dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Pop the glue dots on. And then simply make your lid up, and those of you that have watched me making boxes with lids, you know that I do one end first, and obviously you need to give your glue dots quite a squeeze, A, to spread the glue, and B, to make sure they adhere. I pop it on my box first, put my box down, and then you can fold the sides in, and then you fold your top over, and that gives you your nice fit. And I'm just going to take that off because I want to repress those glue dots. And just to decorate, I have again die cut the Magical Mates Wizard, again just in Dazzling Diamonds, and I'm just simply adhering him with some snail, which I'm just going to pop on there, and he just about fits. And then I just want my glitter enamel dots. I'm running on 2 sheets and I want just to do, I did do white, or clear should I say, on this one, from the blue mixture. This one I'm going to use a darker red, and then just slowly, or should I say I just then go on up the colours. I just think it looks sort of wizardy. And then last but not least, some silver baker's twine that I've just wrapped. The only main reason I'm using the baker's twine is because it's a long box, these bits gape and it just looks a little bit unsightly. So just to help hold it together, I just thought, well, we'll just put some silver twine around it. And just simply do that, make my bow, and then not the best bow in the world, but trim my tails there, and there you have it. 2 wizardy magical pens that will be great for party bags, or can be adapted and given as a gift to someone if you want to give them a nice pen. Maybe they're a doctor or a lawyer, or somebody who's going to be using a pen. You get them a nice pen, but obviously you wouldn't decorate it like this, but you get the idea. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial and I hope it's useful to you all. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye.